name is Alan Bigelow. I am the Program and Science Director at Solar Cookers International. So I want to introduce to you some of our work that we've been doing in our research area. But first, to talk a little bit about Solar Cookers International and who we are. We are a nonprofit organization based in Sacramento, California, and we've been active since 1987. We work in many countries around the world, primarily through collaborators, and we focus on advocacy, research, and strengthening the capacity worldwide for solar cooking. So that's our work. Our mission is primarily to focus in areas of greatest need and to promote solar cooking for the environment, for health, and also for economic savings and women empowerment. So what is a solar cooker? A solar thermal cooker is a device that will collect solar radiation. It will absorb the radiation and transform sunlight energy directly into thermal energy. Then this device needs to retain that heat so it can be used for cooking food and also for pasteurizing water. And this is what a thermal cooker is. The solar thermal cookers come in various types. So we have several types shown here. We have a reflective panel cooker. We have a solar box oven. And this happens to be an evacuated tube solar cooker, which is extremely powerful, and it has a parabolic trough as a collector. So these are some of the solar cookers that we have tested at SCI. Solar Cookers International, SCI, no longer manufactures solar cookers. And several years back, we realized that there was a gap in this sector, that there was not an internationally agreed upon standard for how to test solar cookers. So various manufacturers were making claims about how their solar cooker was the best in the world, the #1 solar cooker, and that was confusing to the community, to consumers, and that identified the gap, is that there needed to be some kind of standard on how to test solar cookers. At that time, SCI was phasing out of being a manufacturer of a very simple solar cooker, the Cook-It, and it wound up having a life of its own as an open source design, and that left us in a very good position. We were suitably positioned to go into the testing sector without perceived conflict of interest, and that was something that was very important for us, is that we could do this in a neutral way. Also at that time, very fortunate, was the start of the development of a new standard at the International Organization for Standardizations. And this was a standard that was being developed for clean cooking and clean cook stoves and clean cooking solutions. And within those standards was a component for solar thermal cookers. And well, these moments of time came together very well, and we now have developed a platform and instrumentation for using that standard, and we call this the Performance Evaluation Process, PEP for short. And this is a small electronics device pictured here. It looks like a weather station, and this automates the testing process. So this box inside has electronic components, which are shown over here, and this is based on an Arduino computer system. So this is a user-friendly electronics that are low cost. However, they can have high potential for taking measurements. And in this case, we use it for measuring the temperature of water inside a solar cooker, and the amount of water is proportional to the intercept area of the cooker, basically how big it is. And we also compare the temperature with the ambient temperature, what is the temperature outside. We also record the irradiance, how much sunlight is coming in while we're doing the test. And then we also keep track of the wind speed. So you see a cute anemometer here on the top. All of the data are recorded on a SD drive, a SD card, which we can then remove later for processing. So that has been our primary work over the past 5 years or so since the standards were published. And we have so far tested a number of cookers. This is also available. One can go online and see this table, and it's an interactive table on our website where you can click on the columns to access the reports for these various solar cookers. And then if you want to connect with the solar cooking manufacturer, the solar cooker manufacturer, you can click on this. The types of cooking powers that we've been measuring tend to vary between about 40 watts and a little over 100 watts. And something to keep in mind is that that is the cooking power that is it's taken up in the water of the that's used in the as a sample in the cooker. So while that might sound kind of low compared to what you might see on power on light bulbs, etc., it actually is effective for cooking, even in something like this evacuated tube cooker, which is a very powerful high temperature cooker. Yeah, that is what the cooking power values wind up being. So this is for standard cooking power, and as these results were coming in, we realized something, that we had an opportunity with that data. Those values, while they can apply toward factoring the standard cooking power, we can look at them in a different way. And maybe this might be more helpful for the general population, and that is to look at efficiency. Efficiency is a very commonly understood term, and that is what we're now just introducing to our work. So we can take the same values, the same data that we acquired during a PEP test, and just look at it in a different way. And what that means is that we're now calculating the amount of energy that is taken up in the cooking pot, in the water, compared to the amount of energy that is brought into the cooker. So the energy out compared to energy in, or take a ratio, and that's your efficiency. So it's straightforward in terms of how we define it. There's a number of equations here, but this is something, ultimately what we're going to do is introduce this as an improvement to enhance the international standards for cooking, for testing cook stoves. This is a progression. You're seeing just the debut of this idea here, and we look forward to seeing this hopefully in the next review of the standards. Thank you so much.